Folks, this is Rose from In Rose's Garden, and today we're going to make a bracelet to match the earrings and necklace that we made with the companion bundle for Sparkling Snowflake from Bargain Bead Box. I think this is going to be really nice. It's going to match the other two quite nicely, and let's get turned down and we'll start on it. Okay, I have some dark blue lapis soft flex medium. This is what we're going to string on, and then we have one of these beautiful components. Now this we're not going to use regular we're going to just use the regular beading wire to make this, and you'll probably have to get two lengths out because we're going to do this. We're going to go through here, bead it to do our regular soft flex crimp here. Then we're going to put our lapis, our crystal spacer, and just make our regular pattern right here. Let's see, 3 smalls, the 2 whites, and then of course we'll be doing the same on the other side. Then we'll do the normal small, large, large. Same on the other side. Large, large, small. Then it'll be chip. So we'll just put in, you know, whatever we decide to put in on either side. Trying to keep the sides relatively even, of course. And we'll end with this small, large, large. Or the large, large, small, I should say. Now, the question then becomes, do we want to put the white, one of the little white ones on the end with another one of these for crimping it in place? There's our lobster. Whoop! Lobster's on the floor. I dropped that lobster and don't seem to be able to find it. We'll get us a new one out. So we have a lobster and a couple of pieces there to finish her up. Here's some crimps. We need 2 to start down here. And I need to get some wire cut. Now, I'm thinking I'm going to cut, oh, I don't know, at least 6 inches, probably about 6 inches on either side, for either side. So there. And there. So what we're going to do on either side is just to go through our pieces here. Well, we'll need a crimp, of course. Now remember, on the other pieces on this piece, I have put a piece of 20 gauge wire. And here we're just going to use beading wire, but we're going to pull it up relatively tight because we don't want it to be loose. So yeah. put our crimp tube in there, and then we're going to push it because we want it to be relatively close up here. And there is our first one. Now I'm just going to string these up, and then I'm going to put a bead stopper on, and then we'll do the other side the exact same way. So now, one of the reasons I'm not going to crimp this right away is because I don't know if we have this. I didn't count these, and even if I did count them, I don't know that they would match up. So we're going to just, and the other thing is sizing. Am I going to need some more of these? Do I want one of the some of the white beads? We'll see. So there is this one side. So we'll put the bead stopper on. That's what the first side looks like. Now we'll do the exact same thing on this other side that we did on this one. And that is, we'll push the wire through. We're going to put it through our crimp tube, and then we're going to pull it up. So now that I have that pulled up relatively tightly, we're going to crimp it right here. Test. And then we'll just start stringing the beads just like this side. Be identical except for going the opposite direction. Just cut a little bit of this extra wire off here, and we'll start stringing these beads. So, drusy. Yeah, that's upside down, but that's all right. And we're going to start putting our beads here on. Now, I don't think this is quite as long. Nope, it looks like it needs one or two more. Or I could just take this one off that side and put it on this side, and that might be plenty. So let's check that out, if that'll work. And if it does, then we will simply... Good enough. So we will now let's see how long this ends up being. Looks like it's about exactly 6 inches. But of course, it may not be that long once we wrap it. So if you were to wrap it, see, it's not nearly 6. So, well, it might be 6. It's not 7 though. So let's see how much more we're going to need to make 7. Oh, at least 1 inch. Even with that, it won't be it. So what we're going to do is I'm going to get out a couple of the white beads. We're going to end with those. Oops, just 2. Actually, maybe I will leave it at 4. So we can put 2 on either end that way. And 1 of these small on either side along with it. And we're going to get a few more of the chips out and add some chips to this. That should be plenty, I would think. In fact, it might be more than we need. So let's take our beads off the end here. And we'll add like 4 or 5 of these to each side. Now that one was pretty thick, so I think I'm going to leave it like that. And we'll do this. Now we'll do the same over on this side. Put the extra blue chips in. Measure it to see if they're about the same size before I put the rest of this stuff on. I want that one on the Yeah, that's all right. Let's see if that's about the same. Well, yeah, that's about the same without that one. So then we put this stuff back on. Add the 2 whites. And the little small one. Now I think this is probably much better. Good enough, because we still need to put our jump ring on. So we'll get that on. So we're gonna put our crimp tube on, turn it, go through our first few beads here. Well, it's being difficult on that one, and we're just going to let it, because I'm going to, since this is on this side, I'm going to simply get the crimping pliers, crimp, okay, now we're going to see if this other white bead will go through here. And for some reason this one seems to have a smaller hole, and that's fine. We'll just trim our wire right here where it's at this other bead, this bead here. Let these roll down here. And then we're going to, oh dear, I forgot. Ugh. I spaced out the fact that this has a middle. I didn't figure through that. So, okay. I didn't bring it tight, thinking, oh, I have the other side I can go through and it will not be a bother. But I'm working these down because this side is still salvageable. I don't think the other side is, because even though I left a bit of wire there, I don't think it's enough once I cut off the other. Okay, now we're good. So we're going to get in here and we're going to get this hold of this crimp bead or tube, crimp, now we'll cut this excess off here. Whoop, stop doing that. Now this side is perfect. This side is messed up. Now once I cut this off, I'm not sure that we're going to have enough wire to turn on this side. Well, unless I can manage to sometimes you can slide or let's see if I can get this cut enough. For it to release without killing my regular wire. But this, you can't just in a cheapo crimp, you can break them usually when you make a mistake like this. This is a soft flex one and it doesn't break that easily. See, I have damaged the wire a little bit right there, but since, come on, there we go. I should be crimping it way down here. It shouldn't be a problem because the wire should be cut off by there. So okay, looks like we got her. Now we have to crimp this little spot right here. Now I'll cut the excess wire off here. And then we have to hook our lobster claw and onto her and our jump ring. Okay. So one side gets the larger jump ring. The other side gets the smaller and the lobster claw. Oh, come on. I know I gave you enough space. There we go. So let's see how big it actually ended up being. Oh, it's a little bigger than I thought it was. That's fine. 7.5. So here's our bracelet. Now, luckily, I managed to make that crimp tube break. And I had enough wire still to turn it over and get the damaged spot away from the crimp because it needed to be tightened quite a bit more. Now, for me, this could have been smaller, but it's still a pretty nice length. Because I say it could have been smaller because I'm right there at, I can see if I can get this to go on and hook. Baby. I hate trying to hook bracelets. There we go. Maybe with that down like that it'll work. There we are. Now see, it fits me all right, but it's a little bit loose. But there it is, all finished. So we'll take it back off again. And there we go. There's our bracelet. So here's our bracelet, all finished. It matches our necklace and our earrings that we've already made. So we have a full set with the bracelet. Now, if you make an error like I did with making it way too loose, I got lucky with breaking that crimp or cutting the crimp. A lot of times you can't, and it's gonna, because they're very strong, and if you don't get it cut just right, you'll cut the wire. And if that happens, I would have had to have restrung it, but luckily I didn't have to. And it turned out quite nicely, but there it is, very pretty. This is using bargain bead boxes, or bead box bargains I should say, companion bundle to December's box Sparkling Snowfall. So there we go. This has been Rose from In Rose's Garden, and I hope you enjoyed making this with me. We'll see you later. Bye-bye.